Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hey guys, my name is Nanda Amelya. My student ID number is 20030500040. I'm from English Education 1, and today I want to explain you about our topic in academic speaking skills about students learning strategies for developing speaking ability. In here, there are 5 topics I want to explain about. First, introduction. Second, review of literature. Third is methodology. Fourth is finding. Fifth is discussion. Okay, let's start with introduction. Speaking is deemed to be most important skill that must be mastered in learning a new language. For most people, mastering speaking skill is the single most important aspect for learning a foreign language, and success is measured in terms of the ability to carry on a conversation in that language. In order to be able to speak frequently and correctly, they must have sufficient vocabulary and must be able to arrange their sentence so that it can be understood. If all these things are done well, the student surely will be able to speak well, and the listener will get the message easily. And then, one of the aspects that are involved in the process of developing speaking skills is the language learning strategies used by the learning themselves. This is how the learners learn by themselves. Learning strategies are steps taken by students to enhance their own learning. Learning strategies are among the main factors that help to determine how well learners learn a foreign language. The present study was undertaken to further explore the language learning strategies used by students with high and low speaking performance in developing their speaking skills. It is expected that knowing more about the language learning strategies will enable both teacher and student to find better solutions for the problem the students have in developing their speaking skills. Okay, next, review of literature. First is speaking. Speaking is an ability to orally express opinions, show facts and feelings to other people, animals, and even to oneself. In speaking, the students learn how to organize ideas, arrange sentences, and express language in spoken form with good pronunciation and comprehensible language. They must also learn about to deliver the meaning of the language according to the next context they are speaking. Second is language learning strategies. Learning strategies can be seen as special ways of processing information that are used by learners to improve comprehension, learning, or retention of the information. Learning strategies are used by learners to help them understand new information better and to help them solve language problems. Learners have to recognize the power of consciously using language learning strategies in order to make learning quicker, easier, more effective, more efficient, and more fun. Third is classification of language learning strategies. Language learning strategies have been classified by many researchers. By Rubin, categorized language learning strategies into 3 main groups: learning strategies, communication strategies, and social strategies. And then by Oxford, different language learning strategies into 6 groups: memory strategies, cognitive strategies, comprehension strategies, affective strategies, metacognitive strategies, social strategies. And then by O'Malley and Chamot also divide language learning strategies into 3 types, namely metacognitive strategies, cognitive strategies, and socio-affective strategies. Next is methodology. In order to collect the data needed for the study, questionnaires and interviews were the main instruments used. Further point out that qualitative researchers may also use written documents or other artifacts to gain an understanding of the phenomenon under study. We use students' achievement records prepared by a teacher for getting prior information about the high and low performing students' speaking ability. All documents needed were collected and interpreted to verify the students selected for this research. We also conducted interviews with both students who had high and low speaking performance. This was conducted to confirm the subject's learning students. We use as interview involving self-observation, which enable the learners to think about what they generally do when faced with a familiar language test. The interviews were done in Indonesian. The responses were transcribed and translated into English. And fourth, about finding. First is data from questionnaire. From questionnaire, we categorize the result into the two levels of learners, and then you can see on the table. The second is data from interviews. To have better comprehension of spoken English, students proposed answers based on two situations. One was when they tried to understand others, and the other one was how to make others understand them. Students with a high speaking performance tended to ask their partners to use synonyms, speak loudly, use simple words, predicting meaning, ask for help, delay their speech by paying more attention for their partners, observing their gesture and body language if they found it hard to understand what was being said. While to make sure their phrases were understood, they would choose to explain clearly what they said by using synonyms and even native language. They also used gestures and body language, repeated words of sentence being said, and asked for confirmation of their speaking partner's understanding. Fifth is discussion. From the result of the questionnaires, we note that the learning strategies most often used by students with low speaking performance were usually compensation and social strategies. Meanwhile, memory, cognitive, metacognitive, and affective strategies were not so often used. On the other hand, students with high speaking performance had a better balance in their learning strategies they used. That is, the students employ memory, cognitive, and compensation strategies with much the same degree of frequency. This result indicates that high speaking performance students seem to be more aware of their language needs. Thus, they need to utilize strategies that will help them master to target language through practicing, reasoning, and analyzing, as well as strategies that allow them to control their own learning through planning strategies and evaluating results. And through the data gathered from the interviews, it became apparent that students with high speaking performance use more learning strategies than those with low speaking performance. The use of appropriate language learning strategies gave a greater contribution for the development of competence in speaking. And then last, about conclusion. The research findings showed that high speaking performance studies use more learning strategies compared to those with low speaking performance. They employed 53 strategies to help them enhance their speaking abilities, which the low performance students only used 29 strategies. If it's seen from frequency, high speaking performance students usually use all 6 strategies expected, namely memory, cognitive, compensation, metacognitive, affective, and social strategy for enhancing their speaking skill more accurately. And then they had more balance in their use of the various strategies. Meanwhile, the low performance students tended to focus more on employing compensation and social strategies than on memory, cognitive, metacognitive, and affective strategies to enhance their speaking skill. Then, the low performance speaking students need to focus more on improving other learning speaking strategies and not to be focused on only compensation and social strategies. Alright guys, I think that's all that I can explain you about our topic today. Thank you for your attention. Hope you guys like it and enjoy it. Bye bye. See you on next video. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.